the president. Just remember this: he's such a full-on narcissist that he needs to get 100.
So as a psych nurse, I feel I have a duty to let people know exactly what a narcissist is, because this bottom feeder, Scaramucci, he does not know, like many people that want to call Donald Trump a narcissist, they don't know what a narcissist is. So as a psych nurse, this is my area, let me explain what a narcissist is. And then you'll understand, and I'll give perfect examples here, how Donald Trump isn't even close to a narcissist and where people get it wrong. So a narcissist is an insecure person who feeds off of others and needs, usually it's almost always constant praise and adoration, okay? And they feed off of that to make them feel content because they're nothing but a big mess of insecurity, okay? Every now and then, yes, they will feed off of a negative reaction they get from somebody, but 99% of the time, they need the constant positive. That's where people like to say, Donald Trump gets all this. No, Donald Trump spent 4 years in office, even since coming out of office, getting nothing but hate. Anybody who watched it, it was exhausting. They've never done that to any president, what they did to him. What Hollywood was doing, I mean, Kathy Griffin with the decapitated bloody Trump head, going after Barron. But him most especially, day in and day out, 24/7, 24 hours a day, from every media source, constantly attacking him. And they were doing it on purpose. They showed their true colors to most people in America, because you saw this it was vicious. It was cruel. It was vicious. They were worse than bullies, all those bastards on CNN and MSNBC. Every single one of them are a bunch of scumbags. They really are, all of them. Even Fox, some of them. Trump tolerated that constant hate 24/7, 24 hours a day for 4 years. And it's still going on today. But when he was in office, it was nonstop. First of all, I don't know any human being that could have put up with that. And it would truly showed the sacrifice he was willing to make, because the man went into office, unlike every other president, went into office with more money than when he came out. Because of all the hate and attacks they did at him, it caused his hotels to slightly go down. And then when he came out of office, they came back up again. But he went in with more than he left, because he didn't take a paycheck. And then he sat, a billionaire who could be on the golf course, enjoying his family, not having to deal with any of this hate. And it was nothing but hate. If you were too lost in your hate for Donald Trump and you got consumed with the media and you let them pull you into their ring of hate, then you still, to this day, you see them all over TikTok, some of these people, that they don't see clearly. They don't. Because they're seeing through their vision glasses of hate. He is not even close to a narcissist. Scaramucci is way closer to a narcissist than he is. But I get sick of seeing this, because as somebody who knows what a narcissist is, this is my field, they're getting it wrong. Yes, does Trump praise the towers that he's, like his golf courses, his hotels, the things he's done? Yes, there's nothing wrong with that. Does he praise the things he did in office? Yes, he's running. Of course he is. Okay? I think where people really start letting the media get into their head is what people aren't used to, is that Trump tells you like it is. So I see all these Democrats, or some, on TikTok saying, oh, Trump was losing it in his press conference today. It's like, no, that's how much they see in this veil of hate, because his press conference today was no different than any other day. It's just they're not used to him saying it like it is. That's why we voted for him. That's why we love him, because he says it like it is. It isn't a bunch of polished bullshit, but and he's a good speaker. He's entertaining, but he just says it like it is. And so the people that hate can't understand this, so they think he's having a meltdown, and it's no different than any other press conference. But they can't see clearly, because they see everything through their vision of hate. So another thing, narcissists are not self-sacrificing, okay? So for 4 years alone, He was self-sacrificing, him and his family, because that hate was not normal. The media was so embarrassing and disgraceful, disgusting. How they get up in the morning and still get on the news, it just shows you what bottom feeder lowlifes they are, really, because they still get on CNN and MSNBC and show their faces. They have no shame, and it's just too bad because it just tells you who their character is. So Donald Trump that was self-sacrificing because his rallies weren't going on while he was in office. And it wasn't until near the end of his term that we conservatives started getting pissed off and then speaking up. Because before that, I know a ton of Trump supporters that didn't want people to know they were Trump supporters. And now it's like, yeah, we don't care. So because most of us, it's not that we were afraid of we just didn't want to deal with their tantrums. But then it got during Trump's administration, we saw clearly the line that the left had crossed, so many times crossed. So the other thing is that you have to look into the one thing Trump has never once, not one time, never once has he ever bragged or even brought up on his own all of the selfless things he has done, for the generous things he's done for other people. Somebody helped his limo on the side of the road. The next week, he had bought their mortgage. He had bought their house for them. He's known for opening up the newspaper every day and looking to see what houses are being foreclosed on and buying and giving them to those people so they don't have to lose their homes. At the top of Trump Towers, there's a woman. She only did one video, as far as I know. It's a couple of years ago on TikTok. She was a squatter, she said, and she said the staff at Trump Tower was going to call the police, but Trump said no, just leave it. And she's still there to this day. Her video, she didn't show herself, but she was showing Central Park, and she said she was a squatter, and she said, he's never asked me for a dime, I'm still staying here. She showed her room. She said he makes sure that I have 3 meals a day and fresh linens. Never once have you heard Trump talk about that. There was one interview he did, not an interview, but it was sort of a casual interview type thing where he was around a dinner table with people, and somebody was asking him about the limo. Did you really pay those people's their home off? And he said yes. That was all he said, yes. He didn't say it in some, like loud man. No, he just said yes. He didn't go into it any further than that. No narcissist can do that. If a narcissist does something for you, believe me, you will hear about it till they die, because they're not self-sacrificing people. Donald Trump self-sacrifices more than any other president, really. Not really. He has self-sacrificed. The other thing Scaramucci doesn't get is just the difference between the left and the right is that we are the conservatives, the Republicans. We can still not like the VP choice and still fully support Donald Trump. Scaramucci was also saying in this interview, people are turning away from Donald Trump. No, we're not. It's not even going to come close to that. Okay? The difference between us and you on the left is you on the left do groupthink. We all have to support every person that has a D after their name, no matter what they've done. Okay? That's the way you guys think. Most of you. So conservatives, though, can say, yeah, I'm not happy with the RNC convention. I'm not happy with the Vance pick, but I saw what Trump did when he was in office before. I trust him. I will still vote for him. Scaramucci, the left, is never going to understand that. They just aren't, because they do groupthink. But the fact of the matter is nobody that has done the selfless things that Trump has done, and the way he's done it with not bragging ever about those things, because if he was a narcissist, he would brag about, I bought this person's house and that person's house, and I let somebody live at the top of Trump Tower, and she was a squat. He would never once have you heard him bring up that. He won't. And it's interesting because that's what Jesus wanted people to do, is do not go talking about the things you do for others. It doesn't mean anything if you do. And yet he doesn't. He'll brag about his accomplishments with his buildings or the accomplishments he had in office. There's nothing wrong with confidence. People need to understand what narcissism is. So I hope that clears it up. Trump doesn't even come close to a narcissist. We have many narcissists in this country, Scaramucci being one of them. But Donald Trump, absolutely 100%, is not.